All right, welcome to Exus the Podquest. This is going to be a rule of three show where we talk about issues from philosophy and religion and science, trying to take topics that are of strong interest in those areas and bring them out so that we can, formulate questions and topics for interview sessions that are going to be coming up immediately or sooner here on the show. We're going to start out today, just like we do every time, with a quote of the day, and that quote is going to be from Albert Einstein, none other than Albert Einstein. Here's what he said: "Learn from yesterday, live for today, hope for tomorrow. The important thing is not to stop questioning." What a fantastic quote that is, isn't it? And I've got a question. It's going to be topic number one. That question is, why the Jews? All right? I mean, it's not what you think. Okay, so let me dig right into this. I'm looking at this from a biblical perspective, not a today perspective, and not even a yesterday perspective. A long time ago, the ancient times. All right, really, the question boils down to this: why the Jews? Why were they the chosen ones of the Old Testament? We know that they are the chosen ones in the Old Testament because Deuteronomy chapter 7, verse 6 says it directly. I'm going to read that to you. It says, I'm going to try to say that for you. Read it to you. All right, here we go. "For thou art a holy people unto the Lord thy God. The Lord thy God hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself, above all people that are upon the face of the earth." All right. So what we have there is a plain statement right out of the box. It says that the Jewish people are a holy people special to the Lord. The next sections, verses 7 and 8 of Deuteronomy, it gives a little bit of an explanation, a little bit of insight. And it says this: "The Lord did not set his love upon you, nor choose you, because ye were more in number than any other people, for ye were the fewest of all people. But because the Lord loved you, and because he would keep the oath which he had sworn unto your fathers, hath the Lord brought you out with a mighty hand, and redeemed you out of the house of bondmen, from the hand of Pharaoh, king of Egypt." So what we have there is a bit of an explanation. It kind of traces itself back. And this is, why, again, trying to find out why were the Jewish people the chosen ones. And it goes back, it's certainly to the time of the release from Egypt and escape from Egypt, which speaks, of course, to Exodus in the Old Testament. But before we get to that, let's take a look at the depth. This is, I think, really important, the depth of the favoritism of the Jewish people in the Old Testament. Go back a little bit further in Deuteronomy right at the front, verses 1 through 5. This is what it says. And it's a little bit longer, but stick with me on this. It says, "When the Lord thy God shall bring thee into the land whither thou goest to possess it," and that's going to be Israel, "and have cast out many nations before thee, the Hittites, and the Girgashites, and the Amorites, and the Canaanites, and the Perizzites, and the Hivites, and the Jebusites." Let's not forget the Jebusites. "These are 7 nations greater and mightier than thou. All right? And when the Lord thy God shall deliver them before thee, thou shalt smite them and utterly destroy them. Thou shalt make no covenant with them, nor show mercy unto them. Neither shalt thou make marriages with them. Thy daughter shall not give unto his son, nor his daughter shall take thou unto thy son. I mean, it's a fairly significant favoritism we've got going on here. You're not only are we talking about, well, I like one better than the other, but you're going to smite them. You're going to do all you're not going to really recognize their validity. You're not going to have any intermarriages. But it goes on further. Here's verse 4. "For they will turn away thy son from following me, that they may serve other gods." All right, and it goes on. "But thus shall ye deal with them. Ye shall destroy their altars, and break down their images, and cut down their groves, and burn their graven images with fire." Okay. I mean, now we're talking about violence. I mean, we're talking about basically, God is in the Old Testament is clearing out the land for the Jewish people, and he's basically saying, go out and destroy everybody else who is not Jewish. But why is that? Why in the world would that be the case? If you have 10 children, 7 kids or whatever, you're not going to say, okay, I'm going to give everything to one of the children, and then everybody else, it is going to get nothing, and then, in fact, you're going to, destroy all their toys and all their stuff and all the rest of it. I don't get it. But you do go back to Exodus, because that's where apparently it started, and it says Exodus. This is chapter 19, verse 5 and 6. Now, this is where we get Moses on Mount Sinai, and we're talking about why there was this covenant. What was this oath that was referred to in Deuteronomy? It says, "Now therefore, if ye will obey my voice indeed and keep my covenant, then ye shall be a particular treasure unto me, and above all people. For the earth is mine, and ye shall be unto me a kingdom of priests and a holy nation." Again, it's a statement of that, but it's of favoritism, but it's not an explanation of why. I'm still not getting it. I mean, we'll go back all the way to Exodus, but I guess it goes further back than that. If you take a look at Genesis, the very beginning of the Bible, now we're looking, it's got to be something, right? There's got to be some explanation of why the Jewish people are the chosen ones. And you take a look, I'm not going to read everything here, but there isn't anything there. I mean, there's an explanation of a covenant and a reference to that, but there's no explanation. There's no why. There's no grounding. And I'm, a little bit curious. I'm going to talk to experts. I'm going to talk to rabbis. I want to talk to Kabbalists or the Kabbalists. I want to talk to theologians. I want to know why is it they were the chosen ones. Now, obviously, there's there's an obvious answer that can be suggested. Okay, and that is, well, back then, who wrote the Bible? Okay, you just ask yourself that, and of course, it was the Jewish people who wrote the Bible. So, what do you know? It's going to be them who are going to be the chosen ones. Certainly you would expect that if it was another group, then they might be the chosen ones, and so you can get into that. However, I want to ignore that possibility as I go forward with interviewing people. I want to take a look. Here's the Bible right here, and in the beginning part of it, the New Testament, I want to find out and treat this as an inspired work, and then if so, and treat it and assume it's that. So then, why is it that there is, number one, a big favoritism, but why is there no explanation of why that is in the Bible? And then you can get into a lot of different things. Like, for instance, if you carry forward all the way through history, I mean, you started out with favoritism, but certainly that didn't last throughout time. Things changed quite a bit, as we know. There's no doubt that the Jewish people, there's no clearing out of lands, except Israel was given back to the Jewish people, but that was a political decision and a governmental decision, certainly not a divine one. But anyway, we're going to get into all of that as well. But mostly, I want to focus on the Old Testament, why it was, what is special about the Jewish people in the Old Testament that gave them that status with God. So that's the story there. If you want to know more about this topic and the other topics that we are going to be talking about, please go to our website. Let me know your input. Let me know your thoughts. Why do you think there was this covenant and what that was about? So that website, of course, aptly named, it's exusthepodquest.com. Please go there and let us know that. And also, if you like this video, I'm assuming you do, and even if you don't like this video, I'm kidding. Obviously, if you like the video, please click below where it's for a like to like it, and then subscribe to our channel, share it with other people, and do all the various things that might help the show out. I'd very much appreciate it, and we would love it. So you guys go there, and we will go ever forward.